Hey, how's it going? So what kind of wood is Diggler going to play with today? Well, today I have some Peruvian walnut and some Osage orange. What I'm going to do with these two pieces is I am going to make two mallets. One that is obviously the handle is going to be Osage orange, and the other one, the handle is going to be black walnut, and then opposite for the middle pieces. Now, these two mallets, I am going to put them on my back wall. Now this is the beginnings of my studio wall that I started a while back. I've got things like really old antique marking gauges. I've got this really old antique black, or this level on there. I've got obviously some block planes, this is for crown moldings. It's a plane for crown moldings. Anyways, all these old antiques I was given quite a while ago, and I thought they would look fantastic on a wall. And I want to add to it. So I want to add one mallet to it, and one mallet I'm going to use. So at the end of the video, if you guys look at the two mallets that I made, and write a comment down below which mallet I should be displaying up here and which one I should be using. I'm going to be using a CNC machine to cut out the shape of the mallet. Now, if you didn't have a CNC machine, you could actually really easily do this with a jigsaw, a scroll saw, really even a handsaw. So, let's get busy. So with every build, of course, I flatten the material to give myself a reference on where the next cut is going to be. So here you're going to see me running the CNC to flatten both the Osage orange and the black walnut at the same time, or different times, but same operation. And of course the reason I'm doing this is so I don't have to switch bits. For the next cut on both the Osage orange and the black walnut, I'm using a 1/8 inch end mill bit. So even though it is sped up, I am running the bit fairly slow. I am pretty conservative with my bits as far as feeds and speeds. I usually run this one at maybe 60 to 80 inches per minute. So this cut on both these pieces took about 20 minutes per. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that little subscribe button on the bottom corner. It'll inform you as I put videos out, and it also helps me out. Now I'm going to start to assemble the mallet head. I'm applying glue to both the pieces, and then I'm going to attach them with brad nails just to hold them in place. It does nothing structurally for it. The glue is what that's all about, but it's just so that the pieces don't slip and I can get the handle in it. And here's my first of two tips on assembly. You want to make sure that you clean out any glue squeeze out in the center part where the mallet handle is going to go in. That's really important because once the glue is dry, it sucks to get it out. Trust me, I did it. I know. Don't do what I did. Second tip for you is the mallet handle, is tapered in towards the handle from the edge where it's going to be, where the wedge is going to get pushed in. Now make sure when you put the handle, the spacers for the handle on, that it's wide enough that your handle will go in. So I suppose you could do this without brad nailing it. I only put the brad nail in it so the pieces won't shift on me while it's drying and screw it up for where the handle location is going to be. Salt could definitely be a good alternative. As I said, I learned from the first one, and the second one, you can see I cleaned the glue squeeze out before I completely assembled it. Now here I'm just taking a piece of scrap to see what the handle would look like if I did a massive round over. Now the bit that I'm using in there, if I'm not mistaken, was a 3/8 round over. And there you go, you can actually see a mistake. The bit caught, so here's a lesson to be learned from doing this. Maybe I should have brought the bit up slower to the maximum height that I wanted instead of doing it all in one go. That was pretty stupid of me. After seeing this video and seeing how easy they are to make, are you guys planning on making one? If so, what kind of woods do you plan on using? Let me know. Throw a comment down below. Now here's one of my favorite tools that I have in the shop, and I rarely use it, which is kind of a shame. It's an oscillating spindle sander. The thing works like a champ. It does a really good job of squaring things up. Now back to the router table with the mallet heads. Here I'm going to put a really subtle round over on all the edges of the mallet. Now a quick sand of all the pieces, but I'm only going to show you the sanding of one of the parts because it's all the same, and you guys have done this before. Here's probably one of the most exciting parts, and that's the assembly. You get to see how all of your hard work comes together and what it's going to look like before you apply finish to it. Now I did apply some glue before I pounded the wedge in place, and I did let that sit overnight on both mallets. Now a quick cut with a saw to take off the excess before sanding it flat. And again, sanding the head of the mallet. I'm only going to show you the one mallet because it's the same on both mallets. Sanding is sanding. Now this is for sure the best part, the mineral oil bath reveal. Take a look at both of the mallets after I've put mineral oil on them. Let me know which one I should put on display and which one I should use. And actually, to be quite honest, I might just put both of them on display, but let me know what you think. So this is part one of a 4-part mallet series. The other 3 mallets that I'm going to be making are going to be different, but they will be pairs as well. I'm honestly so thrilled with how they turned out, and that's why I have a hard time thinking that I may actually use one. I think I should be putting them both on display. Diggler out.